नेक्स्ट वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। काली आम जो छाड़ी आज से स्टार्ट करवा। फास्ट 53 ना 54 क्वेश्चन नंबर क्वेश्चन रही है, मे बी 53। द मोशन इन व्हिच पार्टिकल्स मूव्स along a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Next, the motion in which particles moves along a circular path is called circular motion. Next, if an object moves along a circular path with uniform speed, then its motion is called uniform circular motion. फिफ्टी 56 number question. If an object undergoes a uniform circular motion, then what will be changed? Its velocity. The time required for one complete evolution or cycle of the circular motion is called time period. Next, if a body rotates about a line or axis passing through it, then the motion is called rotatory motion or rotational motion. Next, the motion in which a body moves and for or back and forth repeatedly about a fixed point is called oscillatory motion. Next, the product of mass of body and its acceleration is called force. A pull or push which changes or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion or direction of any object is called force. What is the SI unit of force? Newton. What is the CGS unit of force? Dyne. 1 Newton force equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. Direction of centripetal force always towards centers. Which force act when a car takes turn on the road? Centripetal force. When electrons moves around in nucleus, which force acts? Centripetal force. The gravitational force of attraction between the sun and earth is balanced by centripetal force. Next, the work done by the centripetal force is always zero. Fat can be separated from milk in a ice cream separated because of centripetal force. Next, the working principle of washing machine is centripetal force. Newton's first law, also called law of inertia or law of Galileo, also defines the quality of force. The property of an object to resist any change in its state of motion along a straight line or rest is called inertia. How many types of inertia? Three types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. If an object resists the changes in its state of rest, its inertia is called inertia of rest. Next, if an object resists the changes in its state of motion, its inertia is called inertia of motion. If an object resists the changes in direction of its motion, is inertia called inertia of direction. When a running car stops suddenly, the passengers tend to lean forward because of inertia of motion. Dusting of a blanket implies which scientific principle moment of inertia. Next, if a bus takes sharp turn, then passenger inside moves outward due to inertia. Newton's which law states that rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to force applied and take place in the direction in which the force acts. Newton's second law. Newton's second law of motion gives measure of force, also define or quantity of force. Newton's third law of motion is every action have equal and opposite reaction. Next, the product of mass and linear velocity of a body is called linear momentum. What is the SI unit of linear momentum? Kg meter per second. A rocket and jet engine works on the principle of conservation of linear momentum. When a man jumps from a boat to shore, the boat slightly moves away from the shore due to conservation of linear momentum. When a bullet is fired from a gun, recoil or gives a sharp pull in back direction due to conservation of linear momentum. If a large force is acting on a body for a very short time, then the product of this large force and this time is known as impulse. What is the SI unit of linear impulse? Newton second or kg meter per second. Where a cricketer player draws his hand back while catching due to impulse. Where bogies of a train are provided with buffer due to impulse. Where vehicle, car, buses, scooter provided with succor due to impulse. When a cricketer lowers his hand while catching the ball, it saves him from injury due to impulse force. Opposing force in motion is called friction. Next, the force of friction that comes into play between two surfaces in contact before the actual motion starts is called static friction. The maximum force of static friction which comes into play before a body just begins to slide over the surface of another body is called limiting friction. Next, when a body over the other body, then force of friction acting between two surfaces in contact in a relative motion is called kinetic friction. How many types of kinetic friction? Two types. One is rolling friction, second is sliding friction. Next, when one body roll over the other body, then the frictional force is called rolling friction. Next, when one body slide over the other body, then frictional force is called sliding friction. ଆଜିର last question ହେଉଛି a ball bearing are used in cycle, scooter, etc. to reduce friction between the wheel and the axle. ଆଜିର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଏଥିରେ ରଖିବା ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଆଗକୁ ବଢ଼ିବା।